Just after midnight on March 8, 2014, a routine international flight lifted off from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing. On board were 239 people, including passengers and crew, expecting an ordinary overnight journey across Southeast Asia. The aircraft, a Boeing 777 operated by Malaysia Airlines, climbed smoothly into the night sky. Weather conditions were favorable. The aircraft was considered one of the safest long-haul airliners in service, and nothing during the departure suggested that history was about to unfold. Yet within hours, Flight MH370 would disappear, leaving behind one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in aviation. Shortly after takeoff, communication between the cockpit and air traffic control followed standard procedure. As the aircraft approached the boundary between Malaysian and Vietnamese airspace, the crew acknowledged the routine handoff with a calm radio transmission. It would become the last confirmed voice communication from the flight. Minutes later, the aircraft vanished from secondary radar, the system that identifies aircraft using onboard transponders. To controllers, it appeared as though the plane had simply disappeared. But the mystery deepened when military radar data later indicated that the aircraft had not immediately crashed. Instead, it appeared to make a dramatic turn, reversing course and flying back across the Malay Peninsula before continuing over the Andaman Sea. Why the aircraft changed direction remains one of the central unanswered questions of the investigation. Throughout the following hours, an onboard satellite communication system automatically exchanged brief electronic signals, known as satellite handshakes, with an Inmarsat satellite. These signals contain no voice recordings or flight data, but they confirmed that the aircraft continued flying long after it disappeared from civilian radar. Engineers and aviation specialists studied these satellite exchanges with extraordinary precision. By analyzing the timing of each handshake and tiny Doppler shifts caused by the aircraft's movement relative to the satellite, investigators reconstructed two possible flight corridors. One stretched north into Central Asia, while the other extended far south into the remote Indian Ocean. Governments, scientists, naval forces, and aviation experts from around the world joined an unprecedented effort to locate an aircraft that seemed to have vanished without a trace. Yet the immense size of the southern Indian Ocean, combined with extreme weather, deep waters, and an unforgiving seabed, meant that solving the mystery would demand technology, international cooperation, and scientific innovation on a scale never before attempted. Search aircraft scanned thousands of square kilometers from the sky, while naval vessels crossed some of the roughest waters on Earth. Sophisticated sonar systems, autonomous underwater vehicles, and deep-sea mapping equipment were deployed to examine the ocean floor in extraordinary detail. Scientists also turned to ocean current modeling, studying winds and tides to predict where floating debris might eventually drift. Every new clue was carefully analyzed, yet the vastness of the southern Indian Ocean repeatedly challenged even the most advanced technology available. In time, small pieces of aircraft debris began appearing on islands and coastlines across the western Indian Ocean. Several fragments were confirmed to have come from MH370, including parts consistent with the Boeing 777's wing and control surfaces. These discoveries confirmed that the aircraft had indeed ended its journey in the Indian Ocean, but they could not reveal the exact location of the main wreckage or explain why the flight had deviated so dramatically from its planned route. Over the years, investigators examined numerous publicly discussed hypotheses. Some focused on mechanical failure, others on human factors, while additional theories considered onboard emergencies or deliberate actions. Yet despite extensive analysis, no single explanation has been universally accepted. The disappearance of MH370 also transformed the aviation industry. Airlines, manufacturers, regulators, and international organizations recognized that an aircraft should never again become so difficult to track. New initiatives strengthened global aircraft tracking, encouraged more frequent position reporting over remote oceans, and accelerated discussions about improved satellite-based monitoring for commercial flights.